You want to understand why black women can't be in their feminine energy? It's not because of niggas like him. It's because of niggas like y'all.
When a woman is complaining about a man and you see some men say, oh, I won't act like that, I won't talk like that, I'm not going to do anything. Most of the time, we are not just saying that, okay, you're going to do it. But what do you do when women are treated wrongly or badly? What do you do when you see your fellow man? You're actually there. You can actually see what's going on and you can see what your fellow man is doing to another woman. What do you do? Do you just sit there and clap for him? Do you sit there and laugh? Do you protect a woman, or you just sit there and encourage what your fellow man is doing, knowing that what he's doing is wrong? So these women were seated and there's this man that came to touch them inappropriately, and of course they had to be like, don't do that, da, 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 da. And he got very pissed off, so he started using the N-word. They're black women, and he started using the N-word and calling them, you know, crazy bee, blah, 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 blah. And there were 3 black men sitting down there, and you guys, they did nothing. They were even repeating, because they didn't even hear what he said at first, and they were like, what did he say? And they were even repeating and they were laughing. Yeah. Let me show you these videos, then we'll come back and talk about it.
Already know who he is, so stick around for that. Meanwhile, Oaklawn, Dallas-Fort Worth, a lesbian couple and some friends of theirs are out to grab some tacos. A random man came up behind us, initially friendly, and engaged us in conversation. We responded accordingly, talking back and laughing. However, he then attempted to grab my friend from behind. She said, whoa! He immediately became defensive because she didn't want him touching her and in her personal space. He said he's in the mafia and we needed to watch out. It's essential to acknowledge that touching strangers without their consent is unacceptable, and becoming this offended when they decline is unwarranted. Her girlfriend intervened, telling him to chill out. The situation escalated literally because he didn't think he should have to respect personal boundaries. And by escalated, they mean he drops the N-bomb on them multiple times.
You want to be a bitch. That's the You're really bad.
What?
Bitch.
Your mom's the bitch.
Okay.
Probably is.
What'd you say?
Oh, he done dropped it like.
What'd you say?
You a bitch.
I heard it. Don't even worry about it. It's okay.
I'm not racial. What?
Clearly you are.
I'll never be a woman.
Clearly you are. You're trying to be tough as for what?
You will never have
You're arguing with a female for what?
Bitch. You're always a bitch. Bitch, you will never amount to a woman. You will never get
You should throw it there. I think that's not for y'all.
You're not how now, are you?
He's upset because he's misled.
Is that man bothering you?
Yes.
So sorry. He totally hard-R'd you earlier.
Something that stood out, it was weird to me that he said, you'll always be a man. I was like, is anyone in your group a trans woman? And she goes, no, one has some masculine features, but we're all cis-born women. And he felt that that was the appropriate response because they didn't want to be touched. Now, I reached out to her because I saw her video, and then as she was like writing that story to me, I was doing digging. And around the time she finished writing me that story, I sent her this and said, look familiar? Also, just as an added thing, more than just the face, you may notice this like tribal tattoo on his ribs here. And what's that peeking out right there? Funny thing is, they had uploaded their video and then it got taken down by TikTok. But it must have gotten to some people who know him because he had already deleted his Instagram. But you forgot about that TikTok. Or maybe you just thought no one would find it, despite the fact it has the same username as your Instagram. Oh, and then there's that Twitter account that you don't seem too active on these days, but that is where I got that picture. And even though you deleted that Instagram, it still comes up in searches, and your Instagram just happened to have your full name on it. Isn't that right, Manny Barajas, newly licensed cosmetologist? At least you were newly licensed when you set up this LinkedIn. I'm wondering, do you still work here at this place in San Diego? Is that still your employer, or have you moved on from that job because you're just so charming and engaging. You know, Manny, I'm not sure why the black men who were sitting there were comfortable with you using that language and speaking that way toward black women. But you're going to find that that is not a common trend. That the majority of society thinks what you did was vile and disgusting.
Yeah.
You want to understand why black women can't be in their feminine energy? It's not because of niggas like him. It's because of niggas like y'all. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a video that's circulating IG and TikTok where there's this guy that is literally going off on these black women because he reached out to touch one of the friends and she wouldn't let him. So he's literally standing there calling them bitches in front of all these fucking people, including these 3 black men that's sitting here. How dare you sit there and allow this shit to happen? All 3 of y'all had to do was stand up. 3 of y'all wouldn't have even had to open y'all mouth because when he saw 3 black men stand up, he would have backed the fuck up. I don't give a damn if you are gay or straight. There is no reason why any male should stand back, allow another man to berate a female, call her out her name, make her feel less than, and you sit your ass on the sidelines like you ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm not gonna touch it. That ain't for me. It is so difficult not to be in our feminine energy because we know if something pops off, 9 times out of 10, we gotta stand up and be the man. I'm a female, and had I been in that situation, ain't no way in hell he would have been going off on her like that because I would have been all in his fucking face. Why do y'all do that?
While we're identifying the one that started the attack, can we identify the 3 lame-ass niggas sitting in the background, key, and their name? Not one of them stood up. Y'all the problem.
I think what's most upsetting about watching this stitch of this video is the fact that not only was this man verbally assaulting these women, it was the fact that there were 3 other men within very close proximity who heard the whole thing. And instead of them saying, you know what, let me defend this woman, they just sat there gawking. You know, we always, get caught up in the why. When they say, well, why would women choose the bear? Why would women not want to be with a good guy? Why would women, this is why. If men are afraid of other men, what are we supposed to do?
Exactly.
If I'm sitting at a restaurant, I should be safe.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be an issue, especially if I don't want you to touch my person. So because I don't want you to put your hands on me, you get offended and you call me out my name and you start threatening me. And it's bananas because, baby, listen. When I go outside, I make sure I bring a peace of mind with me. And I would have had peace of mind that day. Because who are you talking to? Who are you talking to?
Don't even worry about it. It's okay.
The most disappointing part about that whole interaction, yes, the dude who called those black women the hard R, he was way out of line. The 3 black men, you laughed. You laughed about black women being called the N-word in public repeatedly. You went along with it. You co-signed. This is what's going on in our black community. You're not men. You're wimps. You're cowards. You lost your huevos a long time ago. Yeah. You have so much self-hatred going on. It would probably take a psychologist, psychiatrist, meds, lots of stuff to undo what's wrong with you. You laughed.
It's moments like these that make me question my own. Because those black men were way too comfortable sitting there. They didn't move. They didn't bend. They didn't blink. All it would have took was for one man standing there, of any of those men, black men, white men, which one, to say, hey, are you serious? Like, man, dude, go on somewhere with that shit. But instead, you'll smile and laugh and repeat what was said. And you wonder why we, and I do mean women that look like me, are the most unprotected. You give these people a pass to do this shit when you sit back like that.
I don't know if it's just me, but I get very agitated and very angry when someone just touch me outside in public, just touch me like this, like, and you're a man. I'm going to like raise my voice and be like, don't touch me, don't do that. I get very agitated. Or even if you touch my friend or touch anybody close to me or you touch anybody that I see that is a woman and probably you're drinking or you're tipsy or you just touch, I personally, in fact, this happened yesterday when I went out to hang out at the beach. There was this man that was sitting down in the group, and there's some girls that we hang out together, and she was just standing up and trying to explain some things to us. This man was already tipsy and he was sleeping like this, but he doesn't know. Then the next thing, just opened his eyes because he saw the girl close to her and he just wanted to grab her like this. I was already shouting because I don't like it when you do that. It's, to me, I just feel like you have to stand, even if it's not me you're touching. If it's me you're touching, it's another problem entirely. Somebody that I know is another problem entirely. If I don't even know the person, I am going to talk. That was inappropriately. Why would you just touch somebody inappropriately? She's not there for you to touch her inappropriately. That is that. They got, defensive and be like, don't touch, da da da, and he started, saying things to them. That's the video we're talking about now. And these men just sat there. This is why we say these men only protect what is theirs. Men only protect their own. If they know that, if it was their sister or the wife or the mom, they're going to protect. They're going to talk back at the man and be like, guy, what's your problem? Don't do that. Because they don't know who those women are, because they don't care who they are, they don't like them, and they don't want to have anything to do with them. Of course, they're lesbians. So they know that they will not benefit anything from that woman, from those women there. They just kept quiet and they were laughing because it's none of their business. And this is what most of these men do. They only protect what is theirs. And it's always very annoying when you see a man disrespecting a woman, and you as a man that you feel like you don't disrespect women, and you're seeing a man disrespecting a woman, and you're sitting down there and you're shining teeth. In fact, you are repeating what he's saying. And you are saying you don't disrespect women. In fact, you are worse than the person doing it. Because you are sitting down, it's like you're clapping for it. Definitely, you can do worse. And that's why you see when women come online and be like, oh, it's all men. All men do this, all men do that. You see some men say, it's not all men, not all men. What are the other ones that don't do this thing? What do they do when they see their fellow men do wrong to a woman? They don't do anything. They don't call them out. They don't say anything. They don't call them to their action and be like, why are you acting this way? Why are you speaking like this? Why did you do what you did? Why will you touch her inappropriately? They will not say anything. What they're going to say is, they're not going to say anything. They'll just sit down and be looking. In fact, at the end of the day, they will go there and be like, shake him and be like, oh, that was a good one. And you are saying that you are not part of those kind of people. I really don't understand, because this just shows an example of when women say not all men, and not all men will protect you, and they only protect you because you are theirs. So if your man is protecting you, it's because you are his man, you are his woman, and because he's benefiting one or two things from you. They only protect what is theirs. They don't protect what is not theirs. They are not going to actually correct their fellow men or friends. In fact, some of them might even be their friends. They will not say, oh, what you did the other day is not good. What you did to your woman is not good. They're not going to say anything like that. They will just look at it and let it slide. And I feel like if men started holding their fellow men accountability, I just personally feel like maybe some of them are going to change. Maybe they're going to be a little tiny, little bit. But they don't. They encourage each other. They encourage the bad things. Even the ones that feel like, oh, probably I will never assault any woman. I will never grip any woman. They know that they can never grip any woman, but they encourage that gripping in a way by not even saying anything when they hear a fellow man gripped another woman. Anyways, what is your take on this conversation? Let's have conversation down in the comment section respectfully. It's your girl Mara Davis, and thank you so much for tuning in today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.